Dear Bill, Bill, I met you after a show in Pittsburgh. The black guy with the hot Latina, and we laughed about my shoes matching my outfit. Welp, my beautiful girlfriend for the past 3 years has a little bit of insecurity issues. A lot of those absolutely gorgeous women do. And you know why it is? It's because their level, without even reading this shit, the reason why I think a lot of them are fucking insecure is because they're beautiful. And that goes away after a while. So the clock is just fucking ticking. You know, if you were just some regular douchebag like me, there's no pressure going back to your fucking high school reunion. I mean, the expectations are so fucking low. You know, it's easy to surpass them. Like, oh, geez, he didn't get fat. This guy's awesome. But if you're a fucking hot chick, it can only go downhill. And I also think that they have the same insecurity a rich guy has, where a rich guy's like, this woman's just with me because of my money, not because of who I am. I think that they have the insecurity that this person's just with me because of my ass and titties. Hi. All right. For some odd reason, she feels the need for me to prove to her that I love her whenever we're in a public setting. So recently, during some Christmas shopping, she got upset that I wouldn't hold her hand as we walked through the mall. She proceeded to catch one of her spicy Latin attitudes with me. See, now, if you were white and you said that on TV, you would have to apologize for 9 weeks when you would lose your job. Why does it have to be spicy? Are you saying that Latino people are like their peppers? All right, I'm going to stop commenting and just plow through this. Okay, so I handle the situation like a G, parentheses, gentleman, and completely ignored her ass. Until we got into the car, and I finally had enough of her telling me how I don't love her and how she wants me to love her. Oh, I don't love her, how she wants me to love her, and how unaffectionate of a man I am. And you know what, dude? That right there is probably how you got this hot girl, because you weren't the first guy sitting there with your tongue hanging out of your mouth. You acted like you didn't even give a fuck, which fed into her insecurity of like, oh, my God, is the expiration date hit? Am I not hot anymore? Look at me commenting again. All right, I swear these bitches are so unappreciative. This is funny. You call them bitches. Why can't these bitches understand how much I appreciate their ass? Every weekend, Bill, we do something. Dinner, movies, plays, etc. But because she has a vag, she has to find something to complain about. I think it's because women have this trait where they feel a strong need to be miserable. No, dude, you know what's going on is you're spoiling her. You're taking her to dinner, movies, plays every fucking weekend. Now she's come to expect it. You know what I mean? It's just become part of a routine. It's not special anymore. So now you have to do something extra special because special isn't special. You know? That's what you know what? Oh, gee, I'm going to have to whisper this shit. We were up in San Francisco, right? I lit up my credit cards this Christmas, all right? My girl had a great fucking Christmas, all right? It's 3 days later. We're up in fucking San Francisco. She wants to go shopping. I'm like, for what? You didn't get enough, you know? So she knows I'm right. So what does she do? She tells me she wants a goddamn candle, okay? Because it's not expensive, but she'll still feel like she got something. Because I don't know what it is. They always got to get stuff. There's always got to be some sort of a goodie bag. And you know what? I wouldn't get it for her. I wouldn't get it for her. I go, you're done. No, I'm not. It's over. My credit cards are still glowing. I'm not getting you shit. And, you know, she's cool as hell. So she just kept laughing because I was being unbelievably rude and I was being really loud. I was just joking around. And, but still, that's the thing. And I just kept saying, I spoil you. I'm, you know, we're shutting it down for a while. You're not getting anything until Valentine's Day. You know, you want something now? I'll get you a little bag of Fritos. What do you think about that? Maybe something to wash it down with. And then what they do is they immediately get mad. And then all you do is you don't take the bait. They want you to get mad so then they can turn it into a fight about something else because they know you're fucking right. All right? So let her be mad. All you got to do, you just got to stay fucking calm. Well, let's see what this guy does. So anyways, he goes, so we are driving along the highway, leaving the mall, and she's still bitching. And finally I tell her, you know what? If you don't like the way I express my love for you, then step off. Got to read that quote like a black man. I can't. I'm not even going to try to. So immediately, I actually read that. I read that like a douchey East Coast white guy. Then fucking step off. How did you? If you don't like that motherfucker, then step off, bitch. How was that? Was that good? I know it wasn't. Well, then don't ask me to do it. All right, plowing ahead. You know what? I might have like a fucking substitute black guy for when black guys write some shit in here so you guys can read it the way you're supposed to say it. Other than that, you're getting fucking a cracker-ass read and you're going to have to live with it. All right, so immediately after that, after I said that, this bitch starts throwing these accurate and quick-ass Pacquiao combos. She's punching you. Mind you, I'm doing 65 miles per hour down the highway, trying not to hit the guardrail, while at the same time getting this crazy bitch off me. Luckily, I didn't crash my year-old Mercedes. This guy's hilarious. Come on, dude. Do you love this girl or is she just another accessory? My year-old Mercedes with the Corinthian leather. I get pulled over, or God forbid, seriously injure us. I mushed the hell out of her and held her face against the passenger window. Totally acceptable. The mush is the gentleman move. You can't punch her. You just hold her head up against the glass, you know, so the people on the other side get to see what her face looks in a funhouse mirror. In order to decrease her reach while steering the car on the highway and absorbing her manly combos. Got to give it to her. The bitch had a mean right. So if you can picture me driving, I can totally picture this, dude. I've lived this. So you can picture me driving down the highway in a bright red Mercedes. Okay, I didn't ever had a Mercedes. It was more in a 83 Ford Ranger with black vinyl seats. Swerving like some drunk, in and out of lanes, steering with one hand, and stiff-arming the shit out of my girl as if I'm posing for the Heisman Trophy. After she stopped beating my face in, she had the nerve to say, I hit her, and hurt her worse by pressing her face against the glass. Are you fucking kidding me? This bitch almost took both of our lives. Long story short, as soon as I was able to come to a safe and complete stop, I kicked the bitch out and haven't heard from her since. This was 3 weeks ago, and it's all for the best. That type of girl can never be satisfied, which is something I've learned the hard way over the past 3 years. But this was the straw that did it. So my question for you is, was I wrong in this situation, and do I owe her an apology? No and no. All right? All you can do is break down your game plan. All right? This is where you fucked up. You took the bait. All right? She kept bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching, trying to make you mad. She got you to do exactly what she wanted you to do. So that gave her an excuse to do what she wanted to do, which was fucking flip out and yell. All right? That's what they do. When they know they don't have a fucking leg to stand on and they know they're wrong, what they then try to do, you know, not all of them and not in every situation, but when they're not going to be an adult and just say, you know what, you're right. I'm being fucking crazy right now. I apologize. Okay? When they're not going to take that adult route, what they then do is they just push your buttons and they just try to make you mad. And they just keep pushing you and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it until you then flip out and say something fucking crazy like, well, if you don't like it, then why don't you get the fuck out? And then they flip out. All right? So what you got to do is in the future is you just don't take the bait. You got to recognize, you know, they're doing the fucking Dennis Rodman thing to you. They're baiting you into a penalty. That's all they're doing, okay? And the ref always sees the retaliation. That's basically, it's the same fucking thing. So in the future, just don't get mad. It will drive them up the fucking wall, and you won't believe the amount of arguments you're going to start winning. Because in their effort to piss you off, they're going to cross like 10 other lines, all right? Now, when they cross 10 other lines, if you take the bait and then go even further down the road, that's all that's remembered in the end. as you then try and piece together who said what when. But if they cross 10 lines and you don't take the bait, they are 10 lines beyond where the fuck they should be, and you got them dead to rights. And you just have to maintain your fucking cool. Now, getting back to this other shit is you do not owe her a fucking apology. All right? It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely childish, and you can't, as an adult, expect somebody to not hit you if you're hitting them. All right? She's basically asking you to extend a common human-to-human courtesy that she's not extending to you. So she can go fuck herself. You definitely, I don't know if you made the right move. Now, I don't know if you walk around calling her a bitch and that type of thing. This is you just trying to be a tough guy. Going, then this bitch said this and this, this bitch said that. That's another thing. Don't go around calling them bitches because that just kills your argument. Don't ever call them bad names, all right? Just hold your ground. Don't lose your fucking cool. And let them go through their whole little fucking histrionics trying to get you to take the fucking bait, all right? And as long as in the relationship you admit when you're wrong and you sincerely apologize, they don't have a fucking leg to stand on when you're right. And you're going to start winning arguments and you're going to be happier. There you go, all right? And other than that, I don't know. Stop dating psychos.
And I went to bed early last night, as I always do. Whenever I go on tour with Verzi and Bartnick, I think all of us, for the next 3 days, have to, dry out and try to get about 14 hours sleep. So, yeah, I'm off the booze. I'm off the cigars. The usual fucking thing. I'm all over the goddamn place. And, oh, fuck. You know what somebody told me yesterday? Here's a new thing. All right? How fucking, in this fucking world that just keeps getting more and more creepy. That whole Big Brother thing, but blah, 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 blah. And then people are saying, well, Big Brother, it turns out it's actually us. And it is. It is because we just keep going along with this shit. Listen, here's the deal. Bill, just tell the fucking story before you go on your stupid little rant here. All right. So a buddy of mine tells me the other day, right, that a friend of his came over to do some work on his house because if you own a house, you're constantly trying to fix it so it doesn't fall down. That's what they don't tell you, when they show the commercial and the real estate commercials, A white picket fence, golden retriever. Your wife had 6 kids and she's still hot, right? Isn't that how the song goes? Anyways, and they're all running around their ridiculously green front yard playing frisbee. The dog's not trying to eat anybody. The wife's laughing. The kids are all good looking, right? Everything's fine, right? Nobody has a lisp. Nobody has, fucking jealousy issues, Guy doesn't have dad bod. They're just basically crushing it. And you just look at it and you're like, you know what? If I buy a house, I know I'm not going to look like that, but is that the mood I'm going to be in? It's like a drug. Right? So anyways, he fucking has this guy, his buddy, come over, do some work. So he goes to pay him, and as all good guys do, you don't need to pay me. You don't need to pay me. And he's like, no, come on, I want to pay you. Nah, I'm telling you, I'm not going to accept it. Just take the fucking money, right? They had to do a sketch like that with 2 polite friends, and it ends up in a knife fight. And one person finally kills the guy and then fucking stuffs the money in his mouth. Shouldn't they do a sketch like that? I think they should. Anyway, so he goes... So finally the guy goes, you don't have to pay me, just get me a case of beer. So the guy goes, fine. So the closest place that had a little bit of liquor was CVS. So he goes down to CVS. He buys the fucking case of beer, and the lady behind the counter goes, do you have an ID? And he's looking at her like, bitch, I'm 50. But he goes, do you really think you don't think I'm of age? She goes, no, I need to swipe your license. And he goes, for what? She goes, basically for health insurance purposes. They record, if you drink or not. And if you drink, your premium goes up because you're a drinker. Now, what the fuck does CVS give a shit about ratting everybody out who's a fucking booze face out there, right? Because you know what it is? The money that they're going to fucking be able to knock up, on your premium to pump it up, CVS gets a little kickback. It's how it fucking works. It's like when I drive you to fucking Amazon.com, right? If you go through my website, they give me a little, hey, thanks for sending some business our way. Break you off a couple of honeys, right? But I'm not costing you any more money. I'm the hero in this. I don't cost you any more money, whether you go directly to Amazon or if you go through my website. Doesn't make any difference to me. And I'm also not ratting you out. What I'm trying to say here is I am a way better person than CVS. No, I'm fucking with you. Look, we're all trying to make money out here, but that's it's fucking ridiculous. I was trying to look at from the insurance company side of it, because you know goddamn well everybody goes in there and lies. Do you smoke? No. You drink? No. I mean, maybe I'll have a beer, I don't know, on the 4th of July to support the troops. Do you engage in any drug activity? Well, I mean, food's a drug, so technically yes, but I mean that other stuff, no, I wouldn't. Do you have unprotected sex with prostitutes? Listen, I got a phone call. Can I take this? You know the deal. You lie your fucking ass off. You're going to get life insurance. You lie your fucking ass off, right? So on one side, I actually have empathy for insurance companies because I understand that aspect of it, provided they ever fucking paid out any goddamn money remotely like they said they were gonna. You know the deal. You pay for insurance. They say you're covered. You say to them, hey, if this happens, am I going to be covered? Hey, if I got the old stub the toe insurance. So if I wake up in the morning, I stub my toe, okay? I'm a man. I can take it. But if I break my fucking toe, okay? And, you know, my job is to skip on stage every night. If I have to take a night off, can you kick me, the fucking $25 feature spot money? Can you kick that to me? They're like, absolutely. I go, all right, so if I break my toe, stub my toe in my house, I'm covered. Absolutely, you're covered, right? Then what happens? You stub your toe, you break it, you fucking call them up. They're like, okay, I got to send it through the you're not getting paid quadrant of the fucking insurance company. Then they come back, and what do? They'll give you like fucking $13 instead of the 25 they owed you. Now, I know 13 between 25 doesn't seem like a lot of money, right? But you just ratchet that up there, right? What if they owed you $250 and they only gave you $130? What if they owed you 25 grand and they only gave you fucking $6? That's what the fuck they do. They are in the business of taking your fucking money and buying themselves a yacht and fucking banging Victoria's Secret models in the ass while looking at the next year's model of fucking yachts. That's what they're in the business of. They are not in the business of fucking helping people. They're in the business of taking your money, telling you that you're going to be covered, and then when you go, dude, what the fuck, right? They go, yeah, go fuck yourself because we got more money. Take it or leave it, right? And what should happen is like, when you remember the Mighty Heroes? When they would send out that little signal and then they'd all fucking, Diaper Man and Strong Man, they'd all turn into something? Or was it Batman? I don't fucking remember what. Everybody who's insured by that company should go at those cunts and be like, dude, what the fuck? I thought you said this guy was covered. This is what you're doing to him. You're going to do it to all of us, right? I'm going back to the Sally Field thing. You know what the problem is nobody likes their neighbor. You look across at him, you look at the car he's driving, you look at his wife. You either don't understand what he bought or you want it. There's never a middle ground like, yeah, I'm pretty much on par with this guy and my ego can handle living across from him. You're either going to resent him or not understand him. So then when he gets fucked out of money, he's telling you the story, you're sitting there nodding your head, acting like you don't like it, but you hate to admit it. There's a part of your soul that's getting filled up, isn't it? Admit it. You don't like your neighbors, right? If it really came down to it, don't you want a house as big as your house and your neighbors? Wouldn't it be great if they just weren't there anymore? And somehow there wasn't any like forensics and they could figure out that you hastened his demise and took over his house. Just added a fucking hallway between your house and his, right? Then the whole other house is yours, right? So when your wife and kids are driving you nuts, you just say, listen, Daddy's going over to his other life. I'll be back when I can deal with you. And everybody just looks at you like that family in that real estate commercial, just smiling and waving, being like, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Right? Then you go in there, right? It's anything you want. You got booze. You got cigars. You got a masseuse / a fucking whore. They ought to have the timeout room for a married guy, And I know what you ladies are thinking. Well, why don't they have a timeout room for women? And you know what I say? Well, why don't you come up with it? The world doesn't owe you a round of drinks, okay? Now, goddamn it, you got that multitasking brain. Why don't you sit down with a couple other broads? What would be in your room? You know, a bunch of shit that makes you live longer. See, if you notice with the guy, everything I said would slowly fucking kill me. The booze, the cigars, the whores, all of it. It just eats away at your soul and your fucking liver, right? Women would go in there. One of the first things they'd probably want is like the most beautiful fucking tub they ever could find, so they could take a nice fucking bath, you know, with their crazy little fucking soaps, right? Have a whole spa day. And they'd have a friend that they could sit down and get all of that resentment out of their heart with someone who can actually listen to it. They download all of that shit. They just totally clean up their soul before they go into the next room and get fucking banged by Brad Pitt, you know, or whoever the fucking Jake Gyllenhaal guy is nowadays. Who is it? Is it Justin Bieber? Hasn't he become a man yet? He's in his 20s, right? He's riding the wave out of teen idoldom, slowly becoming a man, right? As long as he doesn't remake Blue Lagoon, I think that kid's going to be all right.
What a week. I got to tell you something right now. I did a show in Dublin, Ireland, and all the crowds were great, but I got to tell you, those fucking people in Ireland are the funniest. I can't even explain. I swear, there's something about, like, when I go through Great Britain and Ireland, it's like Scotland and Ireland, they're like the knuckleheads that I grew up with. And when I go to London, London is like, is kind of like all the people that I met when I went to New York that were from Boston. So they did move away from where they were from, but they still brought that thing with them, because people in London are hilarious. But I was doing a show, Dublin, on Monday night at the Vicar Street Theater or something. Just this awesome venue. And anyway, so it was on a Monday night. And it's a really hard night to try and sell tickets. And these people showed up in force. And I can't even tell you how they were fucking hilarious. Like, I was on stage, and there was this thing I was talking about people hugging their kids, and how that is a good thing, but if you do it too much, you could potentially make them weaker. So I mentioned, I've been telling this story for like 6 to 8 months, and I've been saying how that, you know, my mother wasn't a hugger and didn't hug us when we were kids. And people just listen, and it's just a small detail that leads to this other part that I want to talk about. So I've said that line uneventfully, if that's even a fucking word, with no issue whatsoever for like 6 months. Now I'm in fucking Ireland, and I just throw that line out there like I'm not even thinking about it and say, yeah, I said, you know, my mother didn't hug me when I was a kid, and I'm getting ready to say the next sentence, and like 15% of the crowd goes, aww. I'm not even doing it the way they did it. Just collectively broke my ball. It was just such the classic fucking, it was like that Boston Irish thing that I grew up with, distilled to its purest form with actually real Irish people, where you'd almost have to be there to fucking understand what was behind it. It was like, I opened the emotional door just a crack, and automatically it's just, they just bust your balls about it. Like, you fucking, you know what, like, I think we got hugs? You freckled cunt, shut the fuck up and tell the joke. I can't even, it just, I would try to explain it to Nia. She laughed, but still, you kind of had to be there. And then, you know, so I laughed. I was like, I'm not fucking trying to get your sympathy. I'm trying to get to this next part, you assholes. And the whole crowd fucking laughs.
Here's the deal. When I was growing up, you know, my mother never hugged us. We didn't come from a family like that. You know what I mean? And, no, I'm not saying that. You miserable cunts. This island of no hugs. I have your blood in me, so don't fucking look at that. That's totally what that was. Our moms didn't hug us either, you fucking... What are you bitching about, you pussy? For the love of God, let me get through it, all right? Do you know how many fucking countries I've said that in, and nobody says shit, and then you come to Ireland and go, oh, who's a little baby? Oh, give him an extra mug to cry in, and then we'll have a drink over here, you fucking goddamn Mary. Yeah, so I guess you still have bullying, and it continues on, right?
And then like a half hour later, what I had done when I was over there was I bought a bunch of DVDs with me. Like just basically the DVD itself with this little paper thing. And I was just handing them out to people because I'm trying to get them to show other people, you know, when I'm out there so I can keep coming back, basically trying to get them to spread the word of my comedy. And then someone's just like, well, why don't you just put it on Spotify, you dumb fuck? And I'm like, because I'm old, all right? I feel like I have to bring the hard copy. So I tell these assholes that I'm giving them free DVDs at the end of the show. And I'm halfway through that spiel, telling them that they're getting a free DVD. All right? And I'm in the middle of it, and I hear this guy in the back of the crowd goes, oh, fuck off. I don't even think I even explained what I was doing. I don't know if I had gotten to the part where they were free. I don't know what the fuck. Or it was the fact that I was trying to, once again, go to a nice place where, hey, you know, I really appreciate you guys coming out. This really means a lot to me. And I want to keep coming back here because I think you got a great country or whatever. And I just opening the door that much. Oh, fuck off. So I finally just looked at them. I went, Jesus Christ. They're already laughing. I was like, you know what? I've played in almost 22 years as a comedian. I have played in front of some miserable motherfuckers, but you guys, and they were already laughing, are the most miserable fucking cunts I've ever been in. And they loved it. Absolutely loved it. And it killed me that I couldn't go out drinking with the crowd because I had to fucking go, I had an early flight, of course, all the way over to Helsinki.
Go to leave tonight like I did. I brought a bunch of DVDs and everything. They're complimentary for you guys coming out. So just grab them. Grab them all if you want. You said fuck off? You don't want them? Jesus Christ. We don't have to take one. Dude, I gotta tell you, I've been to some miserable fucking places. This is one of the most miserable... Not all of you. Not all of you. You guys are fucking miserable. Like just... Hey, I got some DVDs. They're complimentary. Fuck off!
Syria. Dear General Bill, need your thoughts. Is ISIS horseshit? I mean, we know we gave them weapons, but they're still had and need. Oh, Jesus Christ, guys, I can't read, and then you fucking leave out words in the sentence. I mean, we know we gave them weapons, but they are still had and need to be stopped. People, please try to proofread this shit. But we're not good at stopping anything in that region. You're president and in command. What is the move? Yeah, the mood is we pull out very slowly. This is what we do. This is what we do. The only reason why any of those cunts have any fucking money is because nations like us are still driving gas combustion engines. So this is what I would do. I would try to jumpstart more car companies over here, like the Tesla company. Try to get GM and all those other fucks to do the same thing, and then we just don't need them anymore, and wean ourselves off of oil, and then they would just slowly go bankrupt. The entire Middle East, their entire fucking economy, as far as my complete lack of research goes, is based on the fact that they're sitting on top of oil. So if we don't need it anymore, what are they going to do? And then they are free to solve their problems themselves, which they should be doing. And as far as you saying we're not good at stopping anything in that region, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why Russia goes into Afghanistan and loses. There's a reason why people go into that. The reason why we went to Vietnam and lost. The only way an occupation works, and this is brutally honest, is if you go in there and A, you're not leaving. Okay? And B, you commit genocide. That's the only way it fucking works.
That's the only way it has ever fucking worked, and it is 100% the wrong thing to fucking do. You can't do that. So that's it, you know? So it's just inevitable. They know eventually you're going home. So all they do is go, all right, you beat us. And then you walk around standing over there, and they just sit there picking you off, making your life fucking miserable. And then eventually you're like, what the fuck are we doing here? Let's get out of here. And then you leave. And then they go back to doing whatever it is that they were doing anyways. But I don't think that we're going to solve anything over there, and I base that on Czechoslovakia and Yugoslavia. I didn't have any idea about any of that shit. Serbs and fucking Croatians and all of that. I still don't quite understand it. That shit was not going on when I was born. There was already Czechoslovakia and there was Yugoslavia and all that type of shit going on over there. And they all had a common enemy with the occupation of the Russians in their country. So they were against them. And when Russia fell, whatever the fuck that was, like 20 years ago, all of a sudden they got their freedom, and they immediately picked up this fight that had stopped, like, I don't know, 60, 70, 80, 100 fucking years earlier, and they started killing each other again. You know, so, I mean, you're not going to... It's over. You'd have a better chance at getting Ohio State and the University of Michigan to like each other than you will having all those groups over there get along. They're not going to get along. And that's just the way it is. So that's what I would do. I would just I would do a bunch of shit that would get me whacked way before I would ever achieve it. That's what I would do. You know? That's basically it. Wasn't that funny? Jesus Christ, this is becoming too serious here. Is this a trap? Oh, Billy boy. Oh, Danny boy, the lights are calling you. I love the podcast. I hope you can give me some perspective on this issue. I am in my early 30s, and I've been married for 5 years. My wife and I recently have been having a sexual resurgence in our relationship. After a big lull caused by the birth of our 2 kids and me putting on some extra weight, that's very honest, we are back to fucking as much or more than we did when we first started dating. You know, that was coming off like really like you were a mature man, and then you went right down to my level. Then after the birth of our 2 kids, there's been a sexual resurgence, and, you know, I'd put on some extra weight, but dropped a few pounds, and we're back to fucking as much as we used to. Here's a tip for married men. If you want more sex out of your wife, get your ass to the gym. It worked for me. There you go. There you go. Here's a guy practicing what I have preached for the 6 fucking years that I've been doing this podcast. By the way, next month is the 6-year anniversary of me starting this podcast. Okay? So I am expecting some, I don't know what, some sort of congratulations. I should have done it yet last year when it was the 5-year anniversary. So this guy's going to the gym. That's right. He's getting the pecs going. He's fighting off the man tits. You know? He's fucking not having that big former fucking rock star goddamn gut. You got to get rid of that shit. And you'll live longer. I read something one time or overheard it in a bar, knowing me, that every extra pound of fat that you have is 5 miles of capillaries that your heart has to pump blood through. Just saying. Extra 5 pounds, 25 more miles of capillaries. So you can imagine, if you're 30 pounds overweight, holy fucking shit, that's a fucking road trip, 150 miles. You got to get it off. That's why you always see little old ladies and little old men. You don't see jolly old fat 90-year-old guys. You don't. They're gone. You know? Other than Bill Russell, have you ever seen like a fucking 70-year-old 7-footer? There's a reason for that. Your heart has to fucking pump all the way down to the tippy toes. Okay. Also, my wife has been open and willing to do any manner of depraved sexual shit that I can think of. Jesus, dude. He goes, I am living the dream. I feel like I won the wife lottery. Well, I would say you do. If she's a great mother, too, that's phenomenal. So he goes, so here's the issue. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm going to guess that she wants to bring somebody else into the bedroom. I'm going to guess that you fucking open Pandora's box, and the way this is read, if it's another woman, you don't give a shit. I'm guessing she wants another dude. That's what I'm guessing. She wants a little rotisserie action there. A little Boston market. Here we go. So here's the issue. She has recently been saying that she thinks it would be really hot if I fucked another woman in front of her. Oh, that went an entirely different direction. She is clear that she doesn't want a threesome. She doesn't want to participate. She just wants to be there. Apparently, this is a fairly common fetish known as being a cuck queen. Did you spell it right? C-U-C-K queen? A cuck queen. All right, people. This is the first word I've learned the definition to since, what is it, buggering? Being getting buggered? Anyways, he says, now I'm a guy, so obviously I'm into variety, and the idea is intriguing. And like I said, she's willing to do basically anything I want to do in the bedroom. So it seems only fair that I would do what I can to fulfill her sexual fantasies. Still, this seems like a bad idea to me. Exactly. Great instinct, sir. I don't know what her reaction is going to be. I don't want to jeopardize my marriage for something like this. What do you think, Bill? Should I just go for it or listen to the voice in my head that says this is a bad idea? If I go for it, how would you suggest actually finding a woman who is open to the idea of being fucked in front of my wife? Thanks. All right. Here we go. Sir, you're 100% right. You can't fucking do this. And all the married guys out there who are like, dude, what are you, out of your fucking mind? I do that in a fucking second. Fucking second. I know this chick at the office. Not only she fucking banged me in front of the whole fucking office. Hey, love of my life. Look at me over here. I'm fucking banging. Right? All of those guys. Those mouth-breathing morons. You know? Who piss on the side of the road when there's a Wendy's with the fucking public bathroom right there. All of those guys, don't listen to them. Sir, you're 100% right. Some shit should just remain a fantasy. Okay? Your parents. Okay? You have kids. Okay? And when that happens, there's a certain level of maturity that you have to fucking have. Okay? You can't be walking around in the goddamn gimp outfit when at any second your fucking kids can open the fucking door to your bedroom. You know what I'm saying? And it's just going to be, and you're also introducing the chance of you catching a fucking venereal disease. Okay? Because first of all, any woman that's going to allow you to do that is going to be a freak on some fucking level. And evidently, wearing a condom, you can still get herpes. I don't know how. It fucking paratroops down on your ball bag. I have no idea, but evidently you can. All right? And I got to tell you, some fucking things, some doors should just remain closed. I don't know how I would try to make up in that area. I was going to say, if she wanted to fuck another dude, then you could just act like you were another dude and say a bunch of different dude shit to her while you had her bent over and she's not looking at you so she could feel, maybe wear a different cologne. But this whole, why don't you just get a blow-up doll and fuck that in front of her? Huh? You like that? That sound of the fucking... You like that shit? Oh, yeah. Take it. You whore. Right? Maybe you could do that. I don't know what to tell you, dude, but I'll tell you right now, your instinct to not do it is 100% correct, all right? You did hit the lottery with this woman. And this is another deal, dude. You could be gradually opening this shit up. Women are phenomenal masters of manipulation, okay? This might be her roundabout way of saying, I want to fuck another guy, okay? And what she's going to do is get you dirty first, right? Just like politics. We can't have this guy get into the Oval Office unless we got something on him. She might be doing that same thing. Now, this is just conspiracy theory. Don't look sideways at your wife as you're eating a bowl of fucking corn checks. I'm just throwing this shit out here, all right? This might be her roundabout way of fucking getting her to be able to have a fucking, all right, you get to fuck one. All right? And not only does she gonna fuck him, you gotta sit there and watch it. You know? Don't do it. Do not introduce other fucking people into your relationship. All right? Your relationship, when it comes to sex, if it's gonna fucking work, has to be a secret society. As far as my fucking skills go. My skill set, you know? I show up to the gym, people know what I do. I got one mid-range jumper. That's all I'm taking. Everybody knows if you can stop it, you can stop it. That's what the fuck I'm coming with. All right? I don't even know how the fuck I went into that analogy. I was supposed to be making fun of me in the fucking bedroom. I have my little bag of tricks. That's all I got. Yeah. Okay, now here's something, because I've never done shit like that. I never went into that area of fucking freak week. I never did that. All right? And I think if you are in a fucking healthy relationship, at some point, both men and women do want a variety. And at some point, it's going to come up. And you are going to talk about it. And be like, you know, maybe we went to Vegas. Maybe, yeah, and then in the end, you know, usually after you've banged and got that urge out of your system, you lay there and you just look at each other. Yeah, no, what the fuck are we thinking? We can't do that. It's fucking gross. We can't do. It would totally. It's not. I'm not trying to judge people who do shit like that, but it would totally. You know what it is? It's a house of cards, and you're pulling one out way down near the foundation. It might stay up, but the whole thing might come down, and you got some kids in there. So let me ask you this: at the risk of turning this podcast into a complete freak show. Not freak show, just, I don't know, because I really don't judge people what the fuck they do. Is there anybody out there that is married, has a couple of kids, and has had this scenario? You know, has your wife been cool with it? Did you just bring some girl in and you fucking banged her? You know? Well, what is the etiquette when you bang another woman in front of your wife? You know, is she just sitting there watching? You know, like she's watching a chess match? Are you allowed to throw her some looks like, huh? See that? You like that move there, sweetheart? I don't know what the deal is. I imagine that there's a bunch of rules. You're not allowed to do it missionary style. If you come, you have to look at me. Don't look at her. I mean, that's see, like, there's all these, like, you know what it is? It's like you're starting a new sport. It's kind of like MMA when it first started out, and you could uppercut somebody in the balls and gouge their right. You could do whatever the fuck you wanted, and then they'd be like, all right, we need some parameters here. Dana White came in and said, hey, no more fucking uppercuts to the undercarriage, no more eye gouging, no kicking in the face when the guy's on the ground, no punches to the back of the head. He made it civilized. So I imagine that there has to be some sort of, civility to the fucking another woman in front of your wife. Look, who's kidding who? That would be absolutely phenomenal. But I just couldn't imagine, you know, my woman afterwards, and the woman leaves, and then I take a shower, right? And then we're sitting down, you know, eating SpaghettiOs. Like, I would so be praying that she started the conversation. If that she was going like, yeah, I thought that was just, wow, I thought that was really neato. But the absolute fucking worst is if there would just be complete awkward silence, and then all of a sudden she starts tearing up, right? And now here you are going, but honey, you told me to do it. And the fucking kids are sitting there. I just didn't think, I know it was my idea, but I just didn't think that you were going to enjoy it that much. You don't come that fast with me. The fucking kid's sitting there looking like that kid in The Shining, when he's fucking looking up with that red rum face. And I'll tell you right now, that would be a classic fucking 180 that could possibly happen because of the delicacy of women's emotions. And I don't mean that like they're weaker or whatever. They're more tapped into them or whatever. And like I said, this also could be some fucking top shelf pimp shit that she's doing where she really wants to go fuck another guy. And she knows, well, the male ego, I can't come at him with this. And if her mindset is like, hey, it's just sex, she's trying to get you on the same page. She has to get you she's got to get you dirty first. So, I don't know. But like I said, if there's people out there who've done this shit, please email me. Because I'd love to know. Give me a quick scenario of what happened, and then give me a long, detailed. It's not the act. I get it. The picture's been painted. I want to know the aftermath. I want to know afterwards, like how the fuck. I want to know what was the first topic that was discussed, other than the fact that your wife had an outer body experience as far as like the whole intercourse with you, And what is she doing? Is she saving this up to think about later, or is she literally engaging from across the fucking room? Basically doing the sexual version of the guy who goes to the game with his face painted. Oh, shit. Great email, by the way, sir. Great fucking email. You want to bang another woman in front of your wife because that's what she's into? Well, God bless you. Put on a fucking... Gators, bitches wear jimmies. Put on a jimmy and have a good fucking time. Oh, you know what? I didn't answer his last one. He said, if I go for it, how would you suggest actually finding women who is open to the idea of being fucked in front of my wife? Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to find somebody who's... I would try and find somebody who was really advanced in their career. Like a lawyer. They have to have a certain level of job. I wouldn't go on fucking Craigslist and find somebody who works at a Baskin Robbins who's down for doing something like that. You know what I mean? You're trying to go out and find the cleanest person you can. And I would just lay it out on the table. Put it on the table. And I'd have everybody get fucking tested. And then I'd still wear a condom, and then I'd have at it. And then, as far as the Spaghetti-O conversation afterwards, that's on you. Dude, what the fuck happened to the guy who did the subway things? Jared says he finds middle school girls hot. Some chick was taping him for fucking 4 years. He's caused a lot of pain. It's pain that will never go away. What, for saying that? Yeah, he must have gone a little further than that. On Wednesday, Fogel admitted that he had sex with at least 2 minors and obtained child pornography of 12 other children as young as 6 years old. Oh, boy. Dude, is anybody safe? Can anybody go wire to wire without the fucking hammer coming down? Jared Fogel is a monster. He's a monster. That's what she said. How funny is it that I was just talking to you guys about eating right and getting in shape, and I go look at Google fucking News, so I got something to run my goddamn yap about. Jesus Christ. Ah, and he looks like DeRosa. That's fucking hilarious. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Fogel served as Subway's spokesman for 15 years, ever since he first appeared on television, claiming that eating the fast food chain sandwiches and working out helped him lose more than 200 pounds. Please. He probably lost that money running out the back door when the parents came home. See, this is dumb. I shouldn't be doing this. This guy's not been convicted of anything. Oh, but he's completely fucked. He better have done it. I mean, I hope he didn't for kids' sake, but I mean, he's fucked now. It's over. What's he going to go over to Blimpie? Hey, everybody, I'm wrongly accused child molester, Jared Fogle. And I'm here to tell you that Blimpies makes you even more skinny. And with the stress of sitting there, thinking I was going to go to jail for that shit and get gang raped, because that's what happened. Oh, God. Jared, what did you do? Oh, my God. If he fucking did this shit and he's guilty and he goes to jail, do you have any fucking idea what's... And I love that they put him in protective custody. For how fucking long? You know what I mean? I figure maybe 8-10 years. He's fucked. Literally. Oh, my God. They'll descend on him. Hey, Jared, what do you want, the 6 or the 12-inch? Oh, my God. I'd fucking kill myself. Oh, there's got to be a way to do it. He's too fucking skinny now to hang himself. Just sit there twitching around like a fucking goddamn fly that got its wing ripped off. How do you kill yourself when you're shaped like a pencil? Oh, God, what do you do? Oh, I know what I do. I'd fucking break my glasses and I'd jam one of the pieces in my neck, just bleed out in the cell. There you go. See, there's always a way. You put somebody in a confined area, they're going to come up with something. You got to be fucking kidding me. I don't understand why before the guy's convicted that his face is all over the fucking place. I don't get it. Because if this guy didn't do this shit, it was like what the fuck I was talking about last week about the hockey player there. It's like if they didn't do it, they're completely fucked. They're fucked either way. Either they did it and they're going to jail and they're getting gang raped, which, that's what you get for doing that shit. But on the other side, if you didn't do it, I mean, what are you? How do you make your money then? I don't know. You got to be fucking kidding me. Wow. Jeb Bush, Donald Trump, unapologetic for anchor baby language. I gotta be honest with you. As far as offensive shit, anchor baby, that's pretty fucking light. You know what I mean? There's no racial epithet in there. There's nothing homophobic. Anchor baby. It's the baby that gets you in here. You're putting down roots, right? How about a root baby? A rootababy. I hate that fucking reporter. That term is offensive. Your term is offensive. Shut the fuck up. You're offensive. You fucking cunt. You work for some corporate goddamn news fucking paper. Quit acting like you're giving out the facts. You jerk off. You write about what they tell you to write about. That's what you should have done. You write what they tell you to write about. Then you go on, you cash those checks, don't you? You go buy yourself an Audi, right? Or a BMW, some German sedan that lets the broads know you fucking, you're on the dole. You got to be fucking kidding me, man. Jesus Christ, if you can't trust a former fat fuck who's eating sandwiches to be around your kids, honestly, who can you trust? That would have been a great fucking segue to go into my advertising. Where the fuck is it? Oh, it's over here. Ah, Jesus, everything's just falling apart on me here. All right, it's time for some advertising. I mean, what else do you do after you talk about the former fat fuck who became a skinny guy and then allegedly... Jesus Christ. Anyways, how the fuck do you think you're going to get away with something like that? All right. Be one thing if you were the spokesperson for Wendy's, like that old guy. Then you could just say, no, I was just dressed as Santa.
How awkward would it be if I just mentioned 9/11 and started blubbering? Or anything worse than somebody cries way too long after 9/11?
Oh, by the way, we're sitting in Jim's fucking fabulous hotel room, so that would really be fucking uncomfortable.
Just creepy, yeah.
As long as the mics are on and I feel there's an audience, even though I can't see them,
yeah,
it wouldn't be that bad. But if we were just here by ourselves, which fucking takes me back to a moment.
Cleveland?
Yes, I was in a hotel room pissed. And you fucking knocked on the door and talked me off the fucking ledge. It was the gig after the Philly gig where I was like, I knew that they were going to boo me again just to boo me. Rather than Philly, they booed me because they didn't like me. And then by the time the fucking Cleveland gig, you guys gave me so many props that the crowd wanted to see it again.
Yeah.
So I was asking
somebody there. Hey, just put me on early. Give me a chance. Just give me a chance. Everybody's like, yeah, don't worry. And then I was in the exact same spot. I go out there and I just walk out. I'm on for 2 seconds. They just start booing me. Just to boo me, and I was like, look, I'm not going to pretend to get mad because you guys are pretending to boo me, and it didn't go anywhere. And I got off stage, and I was fucking livid. I remember me and Jeff Will still laugh about it because Jeff was like, no, I'm sorry. I was like, fuck you. Fuck this venue. Fuck this state. Fuck everything. And I left. I think I threw a water bottle.
Yeah, you were very unhappy.
I was not happy. And, because I catastrophize in my head, so I was like going, oh, my God, I've become the boo-em guy, and I'm going to go everywhere I go. I kind of forgot because I had been on the Virus tour long enough that, to me, a normal show was fucking 10,000 people.
Right.
And I wasn't thinking, like, my next gig after that tour, I was at the Punchline. It's like a cozy 200 people, and I can see everyone, And so if anybody fucked with me, I could get them. And so anyways, so I go back to the fucking hotel room. Ready to quit the business, and I hear a knock on the door, and you came walking in and fucking talked me off the ledge.
I remember that. I don't even remember what we spoke about. I just remember you were very upset, and I knew why, and you were like, they fucking... And I was like, dude, they did it because they were trying to recapture a moment that they wanted to be a part of something that was very amazing to them as opposed to they hated you. You know what I mean?
Oh,
but
no.
I didn't...
And I was convinced everyone was out to get me. The crowd, the show... Live Nation, everybody.
I'm still convinced they're out to fuck me. I couldn't get on the Oddball tour this year. I can't get on the Oddball tour, and they're doing fucking the Tweeter Center and
played half
PNC.
those places.
What's that?
You've played half of those places.
Yeah, and I can't get on the. I couldn't get a fucking set on the Oddball.
Whatever. They'll have it next year.
Because then you're on stage in front of 10,000 people and getting an unfair booing. That was when we first started on K-Rock.
Right.
And you had been the XM listeners loved you, but the K-Rock listeners didn't know you as well at that point because it was a new thing and you had been away. And they're booing you, and you pull out this fucking one of the great moments of stand-up that I've ever witnessed, which was just turning 10,000 Philadelphia fucking monsters. And they're the worst crowds in the world if they don't like you, and you turned them. You did the impossible, and that's like...
Well, I lucked out the
that.
sports thing. There was enough Jersey and New York sports fans, the Patrick division and whatever, the National League East or whatever. There's enough Mets fans that hated the Phillies. There's enough fucking fans that everybody hates the fucking Flyers, except for Philly fans. So I was able to do that. But what was funny was when I finished that set, I felt bad because you had to go on next, and I was like, oh, God. When a comic burns down the room. And that was not you can burn down the room, I feel, as the headliner. But to burn down the room when there's another guy going up on basically your showcase night, I was sitting there. I thought you were going to be mad at me. And and you went out, never addressed what just happened, went right into your act and fucking smashed them.
Yeah, I mean, again, they knew me though. It was like the terrestrial crowd knew me, so I had to, it was kind of like, they were expecting me to come out, but I felt, if that show had occurred 6 months after that,
right, when
that crowd knew you, that never would have happened. That was a really weird transition time. But what you did with that crowd, I mean, yeah, it was the sports knowledge, but it was about the ability to pull that out in front of all those people, because it took a while. They didn't just start laughing.
Well, you know what? I had been booed before. I got booed on a Vegas show. And I didn't leave, but I didn't know. The first time you get booed, dude, is fucking unreal. It's like, it's the weirdest experience because you have exactly what you want, the total focus of the crowd, but the exact opposite emotion.
Right.
I've always compared it to when they do the reverse echoes on those Zeppelin things to make it seem like you're in hell. Like the echo comes first before your voice. That's like sort of the stand-up version of that, where it's like they're cheering but they're booing. It's the most fucked up thing. And I remember after getting booed, just fucking walking through the hotel, going back to my room, and I started thinking about people in the crowd. And it's like, all right, Bill, you got booed, but you let that guy boo you? You let that woman with that awful dress, that guy with the big head, you could have at least said that. It was just so shocking the first time it happened. And also I did a lot of those, the uptown rooms, as they called them, the black rooms.
Black crowds, yeah.
So you kind of had to get, I was in fighting shape. So it somehow, I just remember Opie coming through the curtain Opie and Ant, I think he had his glass of red wine, and Opie just came walking through and was just like, he goes, that was one for the ages, bro. And just came walking out. And what was funny was you went out and killed, and the second that was done, that was the end of the show. And then they brought me back out for the curtain call, and I got booed again, half clapping, half booing. And I remember there was this dude who ran up to the stage. He was going, Bill Burr. He's screaming. He's going, fuck you. Fuck you. And I'm going, what? And he's giving me the finger. He's going, fuck you. Fuck you. And I kept going, what? It's like, you're giving me the finger. How do I not know? I just kept going, I can't hear you. I literally got him hopping mad. He was jumping up and down, screaming, giving me the finger. I just kept going, I can't. And I kept cupping my ear like, I can't hear you. And the guy went, fuck you. Fuck you. And I just laughed at him. And that was the end of it. And I remember I rode back with Bobby Kelly. And I had a fucking splitting headache after it. And I just remember riding back with Bobby. And he was just laughing, going, dude, do you realize you just told 10,000 people to go fuck themselves? And I was dreading it because I was like, fuck, I know somebody filmed that. Because I thought when it got on the internet, I knew comics would appreciate it, but I didn't know if fans would get it. If they would just be like, oh, you got booed, you sucked, fuck this guy, ha ha, everybody laughing at you and shit, because, can kind of go either way, but whatever. We're here for you here.
No. That to me was that was a fascinating thing to watch because it was legitimately funny stuff. It wasn't like you were obnoxious and got the crowd. Like, you were really pounding them like a comic. Like, that's what was so fun about it. If you had just taken your pants off and waved your cock at them, and like, all right, any idiot could. Well,
still fucking hilarious though.
But that would have been much better, obviously. But I mean, that was still, that would have been like instant legend. But the fact that you got them as a comic,
I saw a guy do that.
Did you?
I'm not going to say because I don't want to get him in trouble.
Sure.
But I saw. When I was doing late nights at the Cellar. Do you remember how they used to have that water pipe they used to hang?
Sure.
And this guy used to go up. He's a fucking madman. And he used to fucking hang from that pipe by one arm, and he'd have this crazy look on his face. He looked like Charles Manson. I'm trying to let you know who this guy was, right? So he went on stage, and he's doing his fucking thing. And, like, really just one of these great comics where, like, just the pain of whatever he went through is right there on the surface. So if anybody moves, he's going to cut their head off. So there was some woman who was all fucking dressed up or something sitting, she's in her 50s and she's not laughing. And he just keeps looking at her and he just finally just starts going like, isn't that right, Mom? Huh? Mom, Mommy. And he got in her face and he finally just goes, Mom, and screamed in her face. And she got like mad. And she goes, she started giving him shit. And he said, like, lady, he got to the point, it's like, lady, if you don't shut up, I'm going to take my dick out and slap you in the face with it. And she goes, you don't have the balls. And he goes, oh, I don't have the balls? And he starts unzipping his pants. The crowd is going fucking nuts because they think he's joking. And he fucking pulled his dick out. And he had it by the shaft, and just his fucking purple head is coming out. And he made these machine gun noises, went like right in her face, dude. The fucking place went ballistic, fucking ballistic. And he ended his set there.
I hope so, yeah.
And Wanda, who was hosting at the time, up and coming, Wanda Sykes, I think she was the host, fucking outroed him and then brought me up. Was it Wanda? Wanda hosted one of the fucked up ones. I can't remember. So brings me up, and I had to go on after him, and I was still new to New York, and I was already going to bomb. And he took his dick out and shook it in this fucking woman's face. And, dude, I can't even tell you how hard I ate it. And I was too green. I didn't know to be like, just riff about the guy taking his dick. Dude,
was.
I went up and tried to do my act. I immediately went up and like, gee, it's been raining a lot here in New York City. It just completely flatlined.
Yeah, it's like walking into a party and not acknowledging what's just been happening. Yeah,
it was awful.
Yeah, I think I know who you mean, man.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. If you watch the Philly rant, there's a time where I look over the DJ going, dude, why are you yelling out shit? You're fucking me up. I vaguely remember doing that, but what it actually was Patrice was trying to help me. He yelled out Invincible, which would have been a great one to bring up about Philly, which was about a guy who was working in a bar,
tries out for the Eagles. Not only does he get a tryout, he makes the fucking team and has an impact. Like, I could have just gone off on how bad the Eagles sucked. And he threw that out there.
Anyways, what the fuck am I talking about here? Oh, that's something that I get. I've gotten a lot lately from people. People think I don't understand the internet, which I think is absolutely hilarious. Like there's something to get. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's like, how don't I get it? Huh? Because I call you out when you do dumb shit, you know? I was on the Joe Rogan podcast this past week, and fucking amazing podcast. I go there, and Joe's like, dude, you know, whatever time you want to come over, blah, 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 blah. And I said, all right, why don't we say 12 noon? Because I don't want to get stuck in rush hour. Basically how it works out here in L.A. is you got to schedule everything between 10 and 2 in the afternoon. Anytime I have a meeting, when do you want to meet? Between 10 and 2. All right? Buddy of mine, Al Madrigal, hilarious comedian. Definitely check him out. Al Madrigal. He's the one he told me to do that. So I go between 10 and 2. Now, I'm not going to go there at 10 in the fucking morning. I said, all right, I'll go there at 12 noon. So I'll do 12 noon. I'll get out of there at 2:30. I'll avoid rush hour traffic, right? And his fucking podcast is so much fun. I think we did like a 3.5, 4-hour fucking podcast. You know, it took us like a half an hour to settle in. So we started at 12:30. You know, he gave me this coconut water that was so fucking delicious. I actually came home and immediately went on to Amazon and ordered a fucking case of it. 12-pack is what I got. You know, alligator armed it. Not because I didn't want to get a case. I just didn't want to deal with my girlfriend going, first a water cooler and now a case of coconut water? Where are we going to put the cereal? I didn't want to deal with that, so I only got the fucking 12-pack. All right? So anyways, we start the podcast and we just have a great time. Fucking went through the whole thing. I definitely suggest you listen to it. I, of course, don't have the link because I'm an asshole. But just look up Joe Rogan Podcast. He gets like 250,000 hits a week. So you'll definitely be able to hear it. But in the end of the podcast, I got in this huge fucking argument with his male assistant, tech guy, whatever the fuck you call him, the guy who sits there and is constantly adjusting knobs on the mixer. We got in this stupid fucking argument about whether or not someone had the right to take my podcast, put it on a website that had advertising on it. And I basically said, they didn't. You could, I put my podcast out there. It is free, but it's still my intellectual property. I give it away for free, so you take it for free. You can't take it and then start making money off it. And there was a website that had all these podcasts, and they got them all on one website. Hence, a ton of people went to the website. Why? Because of the creation of the artists. Their intellectual property was getting hits. No one was going to the website to look at the fucking website with nothing on it. They were going there to listen to the podcast. And on their homepage, they had advertising. So all these podcasts were getting eyeballs to go to the fucking website. All right? And they go there and they read advertising. And that's how you sell advertising, by the amount of fucking people you get to your website. So, how you're supposed to do that is you're supposed to contact the artist or the owner of the work and say, listen, we want to use this shit. We're going to be selling advertising. All right? We'll take our cut. You take your cut. That's fine. That's what the fuck you're supposed to do. You can't just take it and put it on your site and start making money off of it. And for some reason, he was saying it was my fault because technology existed for them to do that. It was hilarious. He completely ignored all the laws of intellectual property, copyright laws. Fuck all that. It's like, if you steal somebody's car, that's Grand Theft Auto. But if you go out and you go buy what do they call those little Jimmy things, those Slim Jims, where you can unlock the door to your car, if you have one of those, then, it's not stealing. It was the stupidest fucking argument I've ever gotten into in my life. I'm arguing what the actual law is, and this guy is talking about technology. But technology exists for me to do something illegal, therefore it's not illegal. It was fucking retarded. And the only thing more retarded was the fact that I couldn't fucking tap out of the argument. I can't believe I never brought up, well, dude, I actually called my lawyer who went to law school, in majors with a focus in entertainment law. And not only did he tell me I was 100% right, he actually said I could sue that website if I wanted to, which I'm not going to. But that's how right I was. Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, a laptop exists that's legal to buy a laptop. And with the technology of a laptop and a little bit of smarts, I can break into your online bank account and take all your fucking money. Does it mean it's not illegal because laptops are legal? I don't. It was the dumbest fucking argument ever, and it lasted for 45 minutes. And of course, it got a zillion hits. Joe was telling me it got the most fucking responses. All right, and you're gonna sit there and tell me I don't get the internet? I get it. I get it. People like arguments. They like arguments, and they like stealing shit, and not fucking paying for stuff, and then acting like they don't understand what you're talking about. It goes right back to all that stealing music that everybody did. Remember that shit? And all the artists got mad, going, "You're stealing our music," and everybody's like, "We're not stealing it, man. We're sharing files." No, we were stealing it. Look what we did. We destroyed, and I say we because I was on LimeWire. I was on LimeWire for a good 8 months before someone finally was just like, "Dude, we're stealing music. How can we do that?" And then that someone can steal your fucking comedy. This is bullshit. And I know a lot of you right now sitting there go, "Well, there you go. You stole music. Therefore, someone ought to be able to steal your fucking podcast and fucking average." No, two wrongs don't make a right. Okay? Just because I go out and murder somebody doesn't mean someone can come over and murder somebody I know. We're both going to get charged with murder. All right? I didn't say I was a perfect person in this, people. I think it shows what a big person I am, that I can admit to some of my wrongdoings in the past. But anyways, after fucking 10 years of stealing music, look at the music business. Okay? It's over. It's fucking over. Steven Tyler is on American Idol, talking to people who work at a fucking Cinnabon, telling them that they have good voices and that they're going to have some sort of career in a fucking art where the whole business model has been completely fucking destroyed. You guys haven't noticed that shit? Musicians are like in movies now. They're doing everything but singing. I saw there's a new show out where Christina Aguilera is a judge, the lead singer of Maroon 5 is a judge, some country singer is a judge. All these guys who used to be able to sell out the Staples Center. It's the whole fucking thing. It's over. So, I don't know. Did that even make sense? I don't even know what the fuck my point was. I can't sell at the Staples Center. All right, go fuck yourselves. But I was right in that argument, and I had a great time this week because I didn't read one of the emails that was sent to me about that stupid argument. I would just see it, Joe Rogan's podcast, RSS feed, any of that shit. I just deleted all of them, and it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So I didn't have to read them and argue with strangers who don't understand the laws. So there you go. I hope some of that, I realized halfway through that is most of you probably didn't even hear the fucking argument. But you'll probably go to Joe Rogan's podcast to listen to it, won't you? See that? Look at me, spreading the podcast love.
Here's what I wanted to talk about. The Los Angeles the St. Louis Rams / Los Angeles Rams / Cleveland Rams. Huh? / Cleveland Rams. They're coming back. They're coming back. I'm so psyched that they're coming back. I'm so psyched that it was the Rams and not the Chargers or the Raiders. There it is. I'm so fucking excited. Okay? LA does not need the Chargers or there it is. We don't need them. Stay away. Okay? LA needs the Rams. Blue and yellow. The Rams. The Los Angeles Rams. That's what they need. They don't need the fucking they don't need to bring the Raiders. If you bring the Raiders back, the city of Los Angeles, if you bring the Raiders back, you're basically signing off on the fact that someone's going to get stabbed or shot. It's a fact. Just watch the 30 for 30 on the fucking Los Angeles Rams, the one that Ice Cube narrates. The way he's talking and all that shit, it's actually inadvertently like hilarious. It's just the level of like, LA doesn't need it. You don't fucking need it. Somebody's gonna like they can't handle those colors. They can't handle the pirate on the side of the. Keep it in fucking Oakland where people just dress up like it's gonna be a musical. And even then, somebody got shot at a fucking 49ers Raiders like a pregame thing. You don't need it. You know, it's funny. Everybody always talks about the Philly fans and how East Coast fans, Yankees, Red Sox. It's nothing compared to out here. People die out here. Guy went to a fucking Dodgers game with this kid and had on a Giants jersey, and he has brain damage for the rest of his fucking life because this fucking two guys jumped him while his kid sat there and watched. That was at a fucking baseball game. The Rams. That's it. Hi, we're the Rams. Perfect. You don't need the autumn wind was a raider. You don't need to bring that to the Inland Empire. You don't need to do that. I'm telling you. And I'm basing Charger fans on the one fucking Charger game that I fucking went to. And me and Lawhead almost got into a fight when we were there. And I was rooting for the Chargers. I just had a Patriots hat on. It was an old school Patriots hat. It was all fucking beat up. They were playing the fucking Colts. I'm cheering the Chargers. That alone. I mean, I expected to get a little bit of shit, right? A little bit of shit. But to get to the point that it's going to be a physical confrontation and somebody dumps a beer on you and that type of shit. Oh, my bad, but they did it on purpose. Like, yeah, fuck that. Keep those fucking animals where they're at. Keep them where they're at. Like, just, keep the Rocky Horror Picture Show in the end zone. Keep that up in fucking Oakland. Plus, it's the Oakland Raiders. That's their fucking team. I'm kind of I inadvertently giving Oakland shit. I don't mean to do that. It's the Oakland Raiders. All right? They came down here before. They tried to make it in Hollywood. They couldn't. They got a couple of guest stars on The Fall Guy. Then they did an episode of Full House, and then it just sort of dried up for them. And then they put their tail between their legs. They went back home. They took over their dad's business. I don't understand, why are they coming back? And why everybody all at once? All of a sudden, everybody wants to come here. We've been sitting here for 20 fucking years without a team. Now, all of a sudden, everybody wants to come back. The Rams should come back. They're Los Angeles' team. All right? Now, I know the Chargers started here in L.A. like their first year or two in the AFL. But, keep them down in San Diego. San Diego. You know what I understand about San Diego? San Diego is a great place. It's one of the most mellow, great places. When you go down there, you're like, this is everything that LA should be. It's chill. It's fucking relaxed. You got the weather. This is great. It's not the grind of LA. That's what San Diego feels like when I go down there. I fucking love it. But then, for whatever fucking reason, you go to a sporting event, and these people turn into fucking maniacs. Not at Padre games, just at Charger games. They're fucking animals. I don't know. Maybe if they built them a nicer stadium and then they gave them a mascot. I have no idea. But I do think it's really fucked up that, the Raiders are going to leave because, and the Chargers are going to leave, and St. Louis is leaving basically because they don't like their stadiums and they're throwing a fucking temper tantrum. The NFL is so fucked up, man. It's sports in general that they do that to people. It's like, dude, it's your league. It's your fucking business. You know what I mean? You don't like your fucking place of work, build another one. I don't know. There's no way to organize people to get them to stand up to owners, right? Like, I remember hearing when I was working in Indianapolis. In Indianapolis, they played at the Hoosier Dome or whatever. When they were building that Lucas oil field, this taxi driver, when I was there, was telling me that the city, they weren't even done paying off the RCA Dome or whatever the fuck they called it. They weren't even done paying that off, and then they had this fucking thing. If you've never been to Indianapolis, I don't know if the Hoosier Dome, RCA Dome, whatever the fuck it was called, if that's still standing. But when they were fucking building Lucas Oil Field, and it was right next to the old one, which I believe is torn down, you could fit like two of those inside the new one and stack two on top of each other. the size of this fucking new one. I can only imagine how much taxpayers have to pay for that shit. And it's fucking stupid. The whole thing's fucking stupid. I really believe that once you make a stadium, that should be a stadium, and you just keep fixing the fucking thing up. The way I'm fixing up my shithole of a house. Sorry. I just discovered something else that was fucked up with my house. But you know what? Right now, the stubborn German-Irish guy in me, I'm just like, you know what? Bring it. I'll sink every fucking dime I have into this goddamn taking on water shithole of a boat. I'm done. I'm fucking done. Like, I'm having somebody come over today to look at my garage, and somebody built off of my office here. They built this closet, and they extended this room itself. And I don't know whose friend of a friend built this fucking thing, but it literally sits right above my garage, and on these two wooden, like, I don't even know what the terminology is. They're not 2x4s. Was it 4x6s? Whatever. It's wood. And that's always bothered me. And then down, all right, I talked about this in the last podcast. But beneath that is my garage. And in my garage, right underneath that wood, is a steel beam that goes across the garage. There's a steel beam going down one side and not on the other. Because there's a window there. So they said, well, forget supporting the entire fucking structure. Let's put a window here so I can look at my neighbor's house that's fucking 6 inches away. Yeah, one of the first things I did when I bought the house is I put a shade up and pulled it down, and I've never brought it back up again until the other day when the guy looked. So anyways, I think when you get like a stadium, like just fix the fucking thing up. Just fix it up. And keep fixing the fucking thing up. And that's it. What do you do? Have you ever gotten tickets into a luxury box? It sucks. It sucks. The food sucks. You're 9 million miles away from the game. Now the upper deck is further away from the game. It fucking blows. I wish you guys, you young people out there, I wish back in the day you could have gone to like the Boston Garden, Maple Leaf Garden. I mean, I never went to a game there. I took a tour of the place, but I'll just go with the ones that I went to. The old fucking Boston Garden, dude, you were on top of the fucking game. It was like Thunderdome. When you were in the upper deck of those fucking stadiums, dude, you literally felt like if you leaned too far forward, you were going to fall down and you would hit the ice. That's how steep it was. But now they're like the fire code and, you know, to get the fucking elephants out, you know, it's got to be fucking more chill, you know, a relaxed grade. I don't know. I'm not into it. But I'm psyched that the Rams are back. I feel like the Rams should be there. I feel like San Diego should be in San Diego. I feel like Oakland should be in Oakland, you know, like the way it was when I was a kid. And that's it. And I know I was kind of fucking rough on fucking LA fans, but it's true. Anaheim. I went down to Anaheim one time. We were cheering on the Red Sox. We had on our Red Sox shit, you know, but we weren't cunts about it. I used to wear Red Sox stuff into Yankee Stadium, and people would break my balls, chant some shit, and point at me. When I laughed it off and they saw that I was a good shit or whatever, then they would just, hey, well, how long you down here in New York? Oh, I live down here. Oh, really? But blah, 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 blah. You know, and then they'd score and they'd fucking laugh at me and give me shit or whatever. And, you know, and if we scored and won the game, I wouldn't fucking point at him and stuff. I wasn't a dick. All right? Because this is my thing. If you go to a stadium with the other jersey, you got to expect to get some shit. All right? But, like, once you demonstrate that you're not going to be a fucking obnoxious ass, people should leave you alone. You know what I mean? You're just making a road trip. You're showing the other stadium respect that you wanted to come and see it, and that should be the fucking end of it. And that was my experience when I was living in New York. I came out here, and it's just like, no, I'm going to stab you in the fucking neck. So, well, actually, you know, I'm always bitching about the population problems. You know what? Fuck all that. Fuck the last 18 minutes of this podcast. Bring the Raiders. Bring them down here. Maybe some people will fucking die, and there'll be a couple less people procreating. You know? Bill, did you really have to take it to there? Yeah, I think I did.